Hi, my name is Precious Osikha. I write, edit, publish, teach you how to write and get paid. I create amazing videos and voiceovers. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for watching my videos. And if you're new to my channel, you are very much welcome. And please do well to subscribe and do not forget to turn on the notification bell. Before Team Okri Group A says, write about an animal who goes on a journey and the word count is 100. Alright, before I showcase the stories, here are a few things to note about this particular prompt. Understand the instruction. So what does the instruction say? It says write a story, okay, about an animal who goes on a journey. And of course, do not forget that the word count is 100. If there are other instructions that was probably stated, you need to adhere to them. All right. And number 2 is the word count. So the word count says 100. Now for this kind of a story, we are looking at a flash story because it's short, okay? It's not lengthy and there is really not enough time to write so many things, all right? So we have to stick to the word count of 100. Now, if you are confused on how to stick to a specific word count, well, I made a video, okay, on the best apps for writers. You can check out the video. The link of that video is on the description of this particular video, or you can look at your screen. The link is up there. You can click on it to watch. All right. So word count is very important, and like I said, it's a flash story, and for flash stories like this, there is really no time to beat around the bush. You need to stick to the point. And if you ask me, starting from the middle of your story is what works best, since there's really no time to put too much information or too much backstory, okay? The next one is the prompt. You need to understand the prompt. What does the prompt say again? Write about an animal who goes on a journey. You need to understand it. So you're going to write about an animal who goes on a journey. You cannot do anything that is not in relation to this, since we have been given a prompt to work with. So we have to think in line with this prompt. The next one is the story elements. Remember, if you have watched the video, I believe you know how I spoke about the elements of a story. But if you haven't watched the video, you can watch the video on the elements of a story. All you need to do is you can check the description box of this particular video. The link is there. Or you can check up on the screen. The link is there. You can watch that video. I spoke about the elements of a story. Okay, so one of the very elements of a story is a character. Luckily, we were given a character here, right? Which is an animal. They've told us it's an animal. Although they didn't tell us what kind of animal. So we have to think of something for ourselves. So if we were given something like a lion or a tiger or a rabbit or a tortoise, good, but we are not given any of that. So we have to think of something. Correct? Good. And the next thing is the setting. We were only told that this animal, okay, goes on a journey. So we weren't really told where exactly the animal is, going to, all right? In this case, we have to think of something for ourselves. Am I correct? Oh, yes, I am. So we have to think of something for ourselves. We need to put in a place where this animal is going to, since we'll be giving a direction. Now, what about the tone, the mood, and the voice? Well, in this case, it depends on you what you're going to be using for the voice. Is it going to be the character's voice, your voice as a writer, or is there going to be a narrator in the story? Okay, now for the mood, it depends on what you want your readers to feel from this particular story, right? And then your tone, how are you going to present your work to your readers? All of these things depends on you as the writer. And then we're going to look at the POV. The POV means the point of view. So what point of view are you going to be using? Are you going to be using the first person, a second person, or the third person? Now you need to look at this point of views very well to know the one that is really suited for this kind of a story. Okay, now the next one is the blunt hint. Okay, did we get any blunt hint here? Well, they've just told us that an animal, okay, goes on a journey. So you should write about an animal who goes on a journey. Good. So we have been given something to work with, and we have to write in line with that. So we need to come up with ideas of an animal, that is going to go on a journey. We need to work on that. Now, what about the title? Yes, the title is very important. For this kind of a prompt, we need something very catchy. Because, of course, we want people, old, young, everyone to come and read the story, right? So we need something very catchy and something that is appealing and, of course, in a way relatable. Now, even though it's not so relatable, you just imagine that kind of a title, at least let it be appealing, all right? Let it make sense. Let it be captivating enough. So let's go to the area of focus and, of course, ideas. So what kind of ideas will come to mind in this kind of a story? What things are we going to be expecting here? Now, for me, I'm going to say a few things in regards to this. Number one, ensure that whatever character you're using is relatable. Yes, for things like this, it's good to use a relatable character. So a relatable animal is best, since it's all about an animal, right? So something relatable is cool. Okay, something that can bring back, let's say, old memories. Right, cool. All right, so something like that is really, really going to be good and going to be interesting and wonderful. We can try that out. Okay, now in this kind of a story, since this animal goes on a journey, it will be good to show a little how does this animal feel about this journey, okay, he or she is about to embark on. That is, if this animal is about to embark on that journey. So let us see, and let us also, have an idea of why this animal is going on that journey. Cool, right? Now, if the animal is already on the journey, okay, let's say it's already like the journey itself, let us feel what's happening. What's the setting like? We need to have an idea of, the setting itself. What's it like? Let's, be able to relate with this character. You need to give us a deep connection. So let there be a connection between the character, that is the animal, and your readers. Now, you know why it's important. Remember, this is not a human being, this is an animal. So we need to have this connection in such a way, okay? So these are cool ideas you can work with. Now let's go to the writing rules and vocabulary. Interesting. Now when it comes to vocabulary, your grammar must be on point. Okay, must be on point. Try to look at your tenses, try to look at your spellings. Alright, and it's also good to include one or two literary devices. Because it's an animal, we need to really make it interesting and not boring. Okay, so we have to make use all of these things that would, make the story interesting. And of course, look at the writing rules. Were there rules that were given to you? If there were rules, try to stick to these rules. Okay, now let's look at the finishing. Oh yes, this is where you need to dot your I's and then you cross the T's, right? Look at any mistake, you need to read and read and read again. Sometimes if you feel that your first draft is not good enough, you are free to rewrite the story. You are even free to write a fresh story and also compare those two stories. Okay, now let's look at the delivery. Was there a way you need to bring the story? Oh yes, bring the story to life, make it interesting, make it presentable. The beginning, the ending, everything must just flow. Do not forget, for short stories like this, it's always good to put some twist, put some suspense, make it interesting and make your readers ask for more. Right? Okay, now I am going to showcase the stories. Okay, now let's dive in. The very first story we have here is written by Henry, and the title is Conquest. For me, I just feel that maybe he should have added something like the conquest to it, although it's not bad, but it's just my own personal opinion. And all of these things are my opinions, okay? It doesn't have to influence your own opinions as the readers or viewers, all right? So I just feel probably he should have added the conquest. Then, the beginning, I got really interested when I just saw the first line. Death is the antidote. Well, it got me, interested in the story. Although I'm going to talk about something later, I got lost somewhere. But that first line that he stated was quite okay. Now, the area he said, I have to find a good food. I just feel find a good food is enough. I have to find good food is enough instead of including the A. There's really no need for including A in that sentence. And the way he said, the only one who have. So I feel is the only one who has. Okay, so you should check that out. And of course, the other place he said clumps. I got confused. Is it crumbs or clumps? So he should try to look at some of these spellings. It can actually get someone confused. Okay. Now, the entire story itself, I did not connect to the story, I must be honest. I did not connect. I just felt like he was writing a different story entirely. I couldn't really place my head on the entire story and then looking at the prompts before us. Maybe if he was just told to write about an animal, maybe he would have, this kind of story would suit into it. But he was asked to write about an animal who goes on a journey. So I got lost. I feel like the old idea would have been better to suit the prompt. Okay, and then like I said, that beginning, the first statement he made was quite okay. Then the moment he said, she said to me, a painful I didn't get it. Could that be a dialogue? Or is it that the death is the antidote is a dialogue? Or is it just different sentences? I got confused about that. So I need to be sure, because if that's a dialogue, I feel like the proper punctuations could have been, added to it. So please, I want this writer to look at these, in other coming submissions. Thank you very much for your submissions. Well done. The next story here is written by Ijoma, and the title is An Animal on a Journey. Well, an animal on a journey is not that bad, but why do I feel like he just carved this out of the prompt? But anyway, I believe maybe something could have been done better there, right? All right, let's go further. Now, this entire story looks like this kindergarten kind of stories, the children's stories type. So when I was reading it, I felt like I was a 2-year-old or a 5-year-old reading this kind of a story. So maybe this story will be suited for children, but then I feel it can be done better than this, even if it's suited for children. So when I read it as an adult, I did not connect with it. So I had to put myself like a child reading this kind of a story for me to even connect a little with it. But like I said, even if the intention was to write this for children, I feel that more effort should have been put in place. For instance, the story was looking like it was summarized. It wasn't really giving this vivid image of the whole thing happening. It was looking too summarized. But then, like I said, the idea is really cool for children. Okay, so I just feel that this writer can work better when it comes to vivid descriptions. Then also the ending, even though it's for children, I still feel like the ending could have been better than this. Okay, I was expecting a little bit of, something exciting, something surprising. You get it? Even if a child is to read this kind of a story, children love something that is exciting. That's the truth. Something they can really, really get them back to read over and over again and can make them their favorite story. So I feel this writer can do better than this, although it's a good attempt. I think it's a good attempt. Thank you. The next story is written by Mirabel, and the title is "You Are Unique." So I like this title. Is is interesting. I really liked it when I saw it. You're unique. It's a very nice statement. Yes, yes, yes. That's cool. Okay, now here are a few things I want to say about this particular story. I feel like she summarized this story instead of her to really give us this vivid image of the whole thing happening. Okay, I feel like she rushed. She couldn't really let us soak into the story. Right, and then at some point, I couldn't connect with the characters, which is the animals, and that's because of this whole summarizing of a thing. Now, in cases like this, you take it bit by bit with your readers. Yes, I know the word count is little, but there's a way in which you let us feel your characters. Okay, the ending could have been better than this. Okay, the ending could have been better than this. I know you can do better. It was the beginning that I liked. I liked the beginning. It made me want to get interested, but at some point I was like, what's going on here? You get it? So I know she can actually do better. Well, you've done great with the submission. Thank you very much. So we have the other one from Elizabeth, and the title is "The Tales of a Rabbit." Wow. Okay, the title is quite okay. So let's get to know these rabbits. Okay. Um. No, I didn't connect at the beginning. I had an issue with the beginning. Journey to the outside world after a long time. So I couldn't really connect at first. Who is speaking? I don't know if you get it. For stories like this, there's really no time, and there's no time for information to sink in. So you need to be quick as much as you can, and at the same time, you need to hit the nail on the head. You need to hit the nail on the head. So I couldn't connect with the old journey thing. I didn't really feel any emotions. To me, it was just there, and I feel this could have been better. I feel this could have been better in all ramification. Even when you spoke about "I am rabbit fondly called," I feel maybe you should have just started from that, and let us get to know this rabbit of a guy and give us something, with action. Well, I believe you're going to do better. Thank you very much for your submission. The next story here is "A Brand New Home," written by Angel. So, the first I'm going to talk about here is the first statement she made there. I was awakened. So, I feel it's supposed to be I was awakened. All right, so you need to be careful with your present and your past tense. And remember, if you are using the present tense, you have to use it all true. If you're using the past tense, use it all true. You don't need to confuse us with tenses, okay? Now, for the adventure you had here, I didn't connect very well with it. I feel one of the things here is the choice of words used. For something like this, it's an adventure story, right? It's something exciting. You want to know what's going on. So your choice of words should be, exciting, something that connotes action. It shouldn't make me feel like I'm confused or I'm wondering what's happening in that particular story. So I didn't really feel that part. And then the ending, although you said what an adventure, that would have been cool if I really felt the adventure in your story. So I just feel it was more of the choice of words used. So you need to be very careful with the kind of words you use to portray, okay, to your audience. Remember, I spoke about tone. All right. Now, since you spoke about then your babies getting up to go on a journey, that's the character babies, going for a journey. I really wanted to feel this journey. I wanted to have an idea of it. So you see that it has to do with the choice of words you used and the scenes you were focusing on. So it's like you're trying to bring in so many scenes at a time. Just try to stick to one moment in time and work on that. That would have really done justice to this. But all the same, thank you very much for your submission. Okay, the next story, the title is I Must Know by Oju. Yes, when I saw this title, I really got interested. I felt like this maybe there is a secret somewhere that I need to know in this particular story. So it really triggered my attention. Okay, and then I followed from the beginning. And one thing I like about this story is this particular writer really tried in terms of the characters. You try to really invest in your characters. And you're trying to give us a little backstory. Yeah, it's okay, it's cool. But here's the thing, I feel it could have been done better. Okay. This area of journey, I couldn't connect with the entire journey stuff. I couldn't really connect with the games going on. The both characters, the best hunter and coming to the wisest of dogs, I couldn't connect that well. That's the problem. I love this story had potentials. In fact, when I look at all the stories, I feel this story has a whole lot of potential, but it wasn't connecting for me. I feel like there's just too much going on. Maybe you should have just given us a particular scene or a moment and then just worked on it for us to feel everything we needed to feel. Okay, so you need to work on coordination, try to coordinate your thoughts. You had so many things going on, and I believe if this were to be maybe a longer story, maybe you could have done better than this. So that is what I feel about this story. Thank you so much for your submission. Now you have heard everything I had to say about the story, so I want to hear from you. What do you think about the stories? Drop your opinions on the comments. You do not need to put too many opinions or repeated opinions. Just drop an opinion and you are good to go. I'm going to see that. Okay. And of course, you can watch this video over and over again. The more you watch it, the more you're giving points to these writers. You are encouraging them. Oh, yes. And please do not forget to subscribe. You need to subscribe. You just have to subscribe. It's very important. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.